Hey, hey, hey. You are listening to Resilient by Design. And I'm your host, Rebecca Hay, here today with a little shorty episode. I love these shorty episodes. They're super bite-sized, actionable, and I love just giving a little douse of motivation. So here we go. Today is going to be about confidence. And hopefully I can inspire a little bit of confidence in you by giving you some really specific tactical advice on the things you can do that will give you confidence running an interior design firm. Because the reality is, yes, experience will ultimately give you confidence, but not everybody wants to put in 10 years or a decade of running a design firm to feel confident. Like, we want to feel confident right out of the gate. So today's episode is for you. All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business. So, what gives you confidence as a business owner? I gave a lot of thought to this question and I jotted down a bunch of ideas. I want to walk you through the specific things that I really do believe have given me confidence more now as a business owner. Yes, it's experience, but I was like, what is it in that experience that has taught me things? And like, what are those tangible aspects of experience that give me confidence? Because if we could figure out what that is, in some ways you could hack your way there. Now, some of you are just naturally confident humans. Good for you. I've always wanted to be you. It's just never been my lot in life. I'm more confident now and I'm getting better with my mindset. But for those of you who really feel like you need to prove yourself before you're confident, this episode's for you, because I'm going to walk you through it's like 5 or 6 things that I really thought about in an interior design firm, in a decorating business. What are those things that make you feel confident when you're approaching the next client, when you're talking to a vendor, when you're possibly being interviewed on a talk show, or whatever it is that your heart desires? So here we go. Okay. The first thing I think that will give you confidence in doing the thing you do and running your business is having happy clients. When you have a client that is so thrilled with the result, they're so happy with the experience of working with you, it can't help but make you feel good. It like fluffs up your feathers or something. And part and parcel to that is this feeling of knowing that you can deliver what you promise. Because if you deliver what you promise, the clients are going to be thrilled and happy. And so the more happy clients that you have, well, the more confident you're going to feel. And that's certainly been the case. Anytime I've been in a situation where I tried so hard and I just couldn't make the client happy, or, I thought they were happy, but then they were disappointed in me. Oh, it was like a dagger to the heart. You guys have heard my lemon story before, where the client sat me down at the end of the project and told me they liked me as a person. They thought my design that I created was beautiful. However, they were very disappointed in the process of working with me, finding out that they were disappointed in me. And like, this is my own, my own BS that I can work through, but it did erode my confidence a little because they were right. I wasn't doing a great job. So when you can find a way to get happy clients, you're going to feel more confident. Number 2, for me, feeling organized makes me feel confident. And I hesitated whether to put this one in because I feel like that's just like, some of us either have that desire to be organized and others are just like thriving chaos and can still be confident. But I'm just going to share from my own experience. And for me, when I was working in the early years for another designer, I felt so much anxiety all the time. There was so much chaos. I would start a list and it was like over here. And then I was like, well, no, maybe I should put it in Excel. And like, I didn't have a program that I used to keep myself organized, like Asana, Trello, like those things didn't even really exist yet. We used like QuickBooks, but it was like an old archaic version and it didn't have all the features. Like I felt so disorganized. And then even when I started my own business, I didn't have a model. So I didn't really know where to look, where to keep things. Now, now that I'm organized, I have a step-by-step instruction for myself and my team of what happens from A to Z in a design project. And then not only do I have that documented, but I have it inside Google Drive and in Asana. At any point, if I'm feeling a little flustered or like, oh my God, where are we at with this project? What's happening? Did anyone forget anything? All I need to do is open up the computer, see what step we're at, how far we've gotten in our checklist, who's responsible for what, and I feel freaking confident. So for me, having organizational tools to help me, in some ways, it's a bit of a hack. If you can get yourself set up for success and get your process and your checklist into a digital product, or it could be printed in a binder. For the longest time, I was like so set on having these like operations manuals. And so everything that was on the computer, I like printed and we would bind or we'd stick it. At first we did that, but then it was like we were changing things too much. And so that was silly. And so we were like manually changing things in this like bound, like staples, like spiral bound notebook type thing. So then we moved to like a binder so we could replace it, but then no one was updating it. Finally, it was like, fuck it, let's just keep it on the computer and use Asana. And we went through a few other programs till we found this one that we like and we've stuck with. But having myself and my team be organized on the back end makes me feel confident when I go to a potential client. I can confidently say, we have capacity to take on your project this fall. Or I could confidently say, this is how much we're charging for our services because I know how busy I am and I know what I need to do and I know the systems I have to pay for, I know the people I have to pay for. So having organization gives you clarity and confidence. That was number two. Number three that I put here is like, maybe I feel like maybe I shouldn't say this one, but I'm going to say it anyways, is being praised for your talent and your work. Who doesn't want to get featured in a magazine, get retweeted, or someone share your design on Instagram? Like, let's be honest, when that happens, when the word gets out about your talent, it makes you feel more confident. When somebody else sees the beauty in what you've designed as an artist, you can't help but feel more confident. So it's thinking about ways to get out there, spread the word about the work that you're doing. I always say it doesn't matter how good you are if nobody knows you exist. It's true. You could be the most talented designer and you might have the most exquisite taste in fabric and furnishings and antiques, and you put together a room like no one's ever seen. But literally, if no one's ever going to see it, they're not going to know to hire you. It's going to be like, oh, I don't know, is it good? And maybe you inherently are one of those people who's just like, this is damn good and that's great. But if you want clients, then you need to get the work out there. So that's something that for me really helped give me confidence when I started to pitch myself to publications and I would, or it would just be like online, like that made a really big difference for me. I felt more confident going to a client. It was like, look, see, like Our Homes magazine did this feature on me. And it also gives you a little bit of street cred. Okay, that was number three. Number four that makes you feel confident running your design business is knowing who to go to and where to go for product. This is a big one. And this is something that can come with time or it can come with community. If you have a community of people and designers in your area that you, or not necessarily just in your area, it could be globally, because nowadays, it's like one wholesaler out of China and you can get it from anyone. But if you have go-to places and people, so you can source the furnishings, the lighting, the tile, the flooring, you name it, you will feel more confident. When you take on a new project, there won't be that fear of like, oh, they asked for this thing, but like, I don't know, I don't even know where to start. Where would I even get that? Could I even design that? Like, could I design that custom? And if I did, where would I go? What about, oh, I love those stone fireplace mantles, but like, I don't have a supplier. I don't know how if I could do that. And the reason I share this one is because for some of you, you might have your suppliers and be like, that's a no-brainer. But for me, when I started out, I had some suppliers, but there were other things that I would see other designers doing. I'm like, wow, that just looks so difficult. Like to do a custom marble fireplace mantle, like, oh my God, who even does that? Where would I find the stone? That must be so astronomically expensive. But I asked a few designer friends and colleagues. I'm like, hey, guys, we're really looking to do this marble fireplace. And someone was like, oh, have you tried this company? And I was like, no. So I reached out to the company. Turns out super affordable. So incredible. Part of that is asking. But as you start to build up your roster of suppliers, you do feel more confident because you can put forward ideas to your clients or you can do things faster and it makes you feel more confident. These are all tactics that are things that you can almost hack your way into, right? By being in community, by reaching out. These are things that you can physically and actually do inside your business that you can do without having to wait a decade to feel confident in doing. And then the very last point I want to make for confidence in your business is knowing that your suppliers have your back. This is something that has been invaluable because you want to work with suppliers and vendors who feel like a partner so that when things go wrong, because they will, they are there to support you and you support them, as opposed to pointing fingers and, you know, standing up with your, what's that word where you're like, your back's up against the wall. This is an attitude shift. And I think this can happen immediately. You need to find your suppliers and build relationships, of course. And once you become a repeat client, this sometimes happens, but I can tell you that even when you're a repeat client for over a decade, sometimes suppliers don't have your back. It's about recognizing who you can trust, who you can count on. And if you can't, you need to get out of there and go find someone else. But it's also about having their back. Because if you have their back in a situation and you don't throw them under the bus, guess what? When the tables have turned and it's reversed, here's hoping they give you the same respect. So knowing your suppliers have your back also means you might go out on a limb with a client and push the boundary and try to do something a little bit different you haven't done before, because you know that your supplier is going to help you figure it out. Or you might recommend a supplier to a client and you might think, okay, well, like, I don't know if this is the right person for the job, but we're going to figure it out. All it is relationships, of course. But having those people that have your back feels like a team, and that builds up your confidence. When you go to a trade day or you go to a consultation, you can say to your client, I have an excellent team. If your client asks a question you don't know the answer to, you say, you know what, I don't know, but we have a really excellent electrician and he is a master electrician. And so we really pride ourselves on partnering with the best in the city so that that's their area of expertise and they can answer those questions. Because let's be honest, you can't freaking be expected to know everything about everything. I feel like sometimes it does seem that way, doesn't it? It's like, well, don't you know? What is the this and that? And why not that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to make it beautiful and I'm going to bring the right team together and make it happen. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. There's shorty with small little hacks that can help you to feel confident. Once you establish systems, organization, and you build a network of designers who can support you on your journey, you are going to fast track your learning curve to feeling confidence in your business. Of course, I'm always here to support you. Come on, join us inside Power of Process. This is going to be an excellent, amazing cohort. I'm so excited to dive in. We can also always chat on DMs. So send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know, are you feeling confident in your business? Where do you think there's a missing link? I would love to help you. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.